actually tune them by moving the little pyramid.
Yeah.
Amazing. You have to hear every note.
Yeah. And then you have to do it by ear as a training.
Oh, as a dream,
Yeah. And then there's a way to like sing with it. But if you are playing with other instrument, like let's say orchestra or Western conventional instrument, I use a tuner.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So that it's not flamboyant sound. Yeah.
Guitar, and I was like, wow. That's amazing.
But the guitar, you have to tune the.
Yeah, I always use tuner.
Yeah.
I can't do it by ear.
Yeah. I guess it's kind of necessity a little bit. Yeah. Here's Joey.
We ready?
Our man, yes.
Hi, folks. How are you all? Hear me okay on this? Okay, great. Closer. Cultural Thursdays. This is the monthly cultural literacy program at Central Lakes College. My name is Joey Yao. I am the director of the CLC Performing Arts Center and also the coordinator of the cultural program. Before we take a moment to thank the faculty and at CLC this program, as well as all of those of you who made the trek out today. We have almost 90 people in attendance today. That's really amazing, and I know that there are here who have not attended our shows in the past. Thank you. If you have family or friends who could not attend, we will have a recording of this up on the CLC Broadcasting YouTube page. If you would like to see this again or want to share it with someone, you could look at that page. It is usually up later today or by next week. Also, a message from the Global Education Committee that I've been asked to share. In honor of International Education Week, which is November 18th through the 22nd, CLC and the Global Education Committee would like to recognize the Cultural Thursday series, our wide array of speakers, and all audience participants who have supported the program over the last 26 years. We are proud at CLC to value global education and encourage you to stay informed of all the exciting global ed opportunities that CLC strives to offer our greater campus community. There will be some time for questions. I know we've been chatting with Kuniko and ready. When we get to the question and answer portion of the event at the end, if you could please raise your hand for me, so that way the recording can be picked up for the. There will also be invitations to join us today for some tea. Kuniko will guide us through that. This is our first time that my staff and I have ever done tea logistics, so we ask your indulgence as we try to work through and make sure that everyone is served. Now, with all that being said, I'm honored to introduce our artist today. Kuniko Yamamoto is a performer, dancer, and teacher trained in native Osaka, Japan, and Kuniko has lived in Florida since 1992. Kuniko received national exposure performing Japanese storytelling at the Silk Road International Exposition and on Kansai National TV in 1985. Over the last 3 decades, she has presented her programs throughout the United States. She received the Tempo Award from Origami USA in 2007. As a passionate origami artist and teacher, Kuniko opened her Origami Air Art Studio in 2017. Kuniko has performed at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., at Disney Epcot Japanese Pavilion, Seattle International Children's Festival and Giant Magnet, International Children's Festival in Canada, the National Storytelling Festival, L.A. Music Center Performing Arts Center of Los Angeles County, and one of my hometowns, Pittsburgh's International Children's Festival. Kuniko will also be presenting a show this evening presented by the Performing Arts Center entitled Mask, Music, and Mime of Japan. That show is. If you would like to attend, you can purchase a ticket at our box office right after this presentation or about half an hour before the show. And now, please join me in welcoming Kuniko.
Thank you so much for coming. And today, as a part of your cultural experiment, I like to share with you what I have. I'm from Japan, and if I'm not be here on behalf of Japan. I'm not going to have everything that presents Japanese on my shoulder. It's just I'm just one of them. But because I'm one of them, I can share you something very close to dear to my heart. And if you go to Japan these days, you're gonna enjoy, you really, really, really enjoy the food and the fashion and the technology, something you enjoy here. Japan is very international country now, just like the United States is. And it's been changed compared to 8th century. 8th century, Japan was a different place, absolutely different place. I don't even know what it was like. No electricity, nothing. And then just the nature and the people in the island country. That is something absolutely foreign to me. But it's not as foreign as you feel because I grew up there. In Japan, we have 3 schools. You guys say old school, new school, don't you? And then you have it. But in Japan, we have a new school, old school, and ancient school. And an ancient school is old, and it's so different. Like wearing kimono, we don't wear this anymore. We just only wear this for the funerals and weddings. That's it. And we don't do tea ceremony either. We do it as the intellectual practice. And then koto is not as popular as guitars and pianos in Japan anymore. So that is very special to me. We studied when we were kids and then we expanded our imagination. How about we do it together? And then before we do it, I have a question for you. Why do you have to study cultural things? You know, every school I go to, it doesn't matter, K through 5th, high school, college, you guys have cultural study. And the Japanese do too. And why culture is so important? What do you think? What do you think? Anybody? Just on top of your head? Don't be shy.
History develops the human spirit.
Develop the human spirit for like a better life. Get to know who we are and just go to the next level. I get it. I get it. And then to do that, not only your neighbors and your country, you want to expand your focus to outside. And anybody else? What do you think? What do you think? I'm just checking my microphone. Oh, no. I was just shifting this. Okay. So it is to accept diversity, and it's so sad and boring not to know some other people's life because the earth, the world is so big. And then that will stimulate our artwork and the music. But why do we do art? Because we need an imagination. We need a creativity. Yes? And then to do so, like I said, imagination. And I'd like you to try it today to expand your creativity by expanding your imagination. And to do so, I'm going to transport yourself to somewhere else. Japan, 8th century. And back then, things are different. Actually, let me say, I said that 8th century, but I'm going to go somewhere between 8th century all the way to 16th century. It's massive area. And then that time, so many things happened. Japan was just an island, primitive country by 8th century, but something happened in 8th century. Do you know what happened to the 8th century? Anybody kind of keen to the history? China. People from China found us and then came by boat. And then we start communicate because China was the closest. China and Korea was the closest shore to Japan. And then from that time on, we learned about civilization that Chinese offered. And then also another thing is Buddhism. Buddhism came. And that time, the Buddhism came to the country of Japan worshiping nature. We were a lot like you guys, American Indians. The native Indians worshiping nature and nature form, believing some kind of spirit live in a nature form. That was our very, very original idea. And then Buddhism came. And the Buddhism came as a set of the philosophy. And then gradually we expanded to our own adaptation, Zen. How many of you are familiar with Zen? Anybody? How many of you heard about it? Read about it? Yes? I think many people are familiar with Zen. Zen is a part of Buddhism. But I just want to share this with you. It's not very religious. I think to be very, very religious, you have to have the God. Have to have a God or higher spirit to worship. Zen is in the absence of that. Maybe, but Zen is try to transcend our creativity or our intellectual. It's just shaken up you so that something new come out to your head. And then people come to study with a monk who studied Buddhism and some set of the philosophy from Asia, and then they will shake you up the idea by asking question. So something like to shake you up. The bunch of Zen stories are there. So the monk sits, and then there's an apprentice, or you guys come and then listen to this wisdom. And then the lady, the mid-aged lady said, excuse me, I worry, and I'm so sick now because I worry to my two daughters. One daughter married to an umbrella man who makes umbrella, and then my another daughter married to the man who makes the sandal. And when it's so the sunny days, umbrella man is not making money. I worry about my daughter here. She's not making money and she's not happy. And then when it's raining so much, my another daughter whose husband sells the sandals, he's not selling the sandals too much because people don't go out. And then I worry, and then I'm almost dying, worrying so much. And then the monk listen, and then he will give you a wisdom. Sit down, close your eyes, and think. Think about your daughter who married to the sandal man on the sunny day. And then think about your daughter who married to an umbrella man, when it's raining, you're not going to worry. And then another one is this is a tale from the Buddha. Buddha was walking around just like Jesus did to the very struggled village. Everybody is struggling. And then there was a evil master who lives in this village and then heard about Buddha saving people, being kind to the people. The master was so unhappy and angry at the Buddha doing, and then also the people. So one day he put fire on the temple where Buddha was there. And then the fire spread out the entire village, and then it's spreading and spreading and spreading. And the evil master said to Buddha, if you are magical and then so superior and all, what you gonna do with this? Save people. All fire spreading out to the village. And then Buddha had to think. Yeah, you have to stop this fire. He said, close your eyes. You do not see the fire. I'm glad you felt the same way I felt. When I read this story many years ago at my temple, and are you kidding me? And then you are just closing your eyes. And then that I was just like mesmerized that I was kid, and then all the way to I'm still puzzled. I'm still puzzled. But the part of me tried to understand. You have a way to close your eyes. You have a power to close your eyes. That's something to tell me. So Zen is very mysterious to me in a set of the philosophy that Japanese adore. And then here's a one. This one is not too bad. It's about the samurai warriors. In the 16th century of Japan, it's a medieval time, clan versus clan. They fought over money, land, and power. East clan, left clan. Just like a civil war, and then fight and kill each other. And you kill many people to win, to survive. And they were soldiers. And then after that, if you do this over and over, if you win one, you go to the next. If you go to the next, you go to the another. And then you end up killing hundreds of people. And the samurai's spirit were hurt. They are not allowed to show that weakness, but they were hurt and they were disturbed. Once upon a time, a samurai warriors getting closer to the gate of the temple, Zen temple, where the monk answer your question. Please, monk, please open the gate. I have a question to ask. Come in. Come in. What is your question? I'm disturbed. And I have this question. What is hell? What is heaven? Hey, yeah, you have a big question. The monk looked at the samurai, who is so serious and sad and disturbed, depressed. Look at me, you'll be just fine. The monk laughed so hard, looking at. Can I see your sword? That looks so cheap. Did you get it at the farmer's market? Huh? You just appear like a big samurai, but you have such a silly sword. And then you call yourself samurai. Oh my tummy keto boils. And the samurai soldier grabbed his sword. This sword come from my great-great-grandfather. The face of my family. And you laugh. I cannot lose my face. He pulled his sword, swung up towards the monk. The monk stopped his hands. Stop, right there. You are at the gate of hell. The samurai dropped his sword, thought about what he said. His anger, his furious mind was coming down. He placed his sword in front of him and looked at the monk. He closed his eyes and he bowed low to the monk. Thank you for the lesson. Please forgive me. Right there, samurai. You are at the gate of heaven. So that's one of the Zen story. Goes like that. And the question and conversation was a way to understand the philosophy. Sometimes they develop their own philosophy and then the virtue. That's how it happened. And the why tea came in. As the conversation goes, those are young apprentices, and then people come to the monk. Listening to the monk, they fall asleep. And green tea was offered so that they were awake. You have to be awake to think and answer or ask questions. That's how it started. And then tea was so connected with a religious practice, the Zen practice. I said religious, but it's more like a Zen practice to study about virtue, kindness, goodness, or something evil. And they were expanding their imagination to think about it. And then you are going to try to do that and transport yourself to Japan. It's going to be on the other side of the world. And transport yourself to 8th century. There's no electricity, no phone, no computer, nothing. All you have is just the nature. So I'm going to invite you all to transport ourselves by closing our eyes in a way of meditation. So relax your shoulder, and then women, just think about you have a black hair like Japanese do, and then have kimono, and sitting on the tatami straw mat, and outside all you see is the nature, nothing else. And the guys, same. Guys had a long hair back then, so just imagine yourself have a black long hair and close your eyes, sitting on the tatami mat, and breathe in deeply, slow. Back then it was so slow, everything was slow. So let's do very slow. Count in 4, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then exhale, big, empty yourself. Drop yourself. No name, no place, you are now. Close your eyes, nothing to see, nothing to desire. Let go whatever come to your head. You don't have to be anybody. You don't even have to be you. Drop your shoulders. And last time, inhale slow. And then exhale. Gradually open your eyes, and we are going to have tea and have a quiet moment. Is to enjoy, to expand our peace, creativity, imagination, and nothingness. All right. Now, I have tea right here, and in Japan, if you go to Japan, we have a very ritual way, ceremonial way to do this, and that is connected with what we did right now. Okay, I like to have 3 volunteers to come up. So 2 of you, and then someone else. Oh yeah, over there. Come now. Okay. Very good. And when you come to tea house, has anybody been to tea house in Japan? Oh, you did. Did you notice how small the building is? The house is almost like a doll house. It's very small. It's about half of this carpet size. And then you have a door. The door is only 3 feet high. So you have to what? Duck. Do you know why? It really meant to be. It's not by accident. There was a reason. Do you guys know why?
Like you're bowing?
Bowing, yes, exactly. You lower yourself and then come in. And then as you lower yourself, you take your sword out of the tea house. And then if you have a very luxurious jewelries, you drop that too, because you come in to be nobody. And in this tea house, it doesn't matter. I'm older than you, and then you are students maybe. And then if you are the president of this college, or if you are the best students in the world, or the worst in the world, it doesn't matter. In this tea house, it really doesn't matter. All it matters, I'm the host, and then you guys are invited. So I'm the one who bows lower and longer. So at the beginning, we are going to bow each other, and then bowing on the floor, it goes like this. Your hands in the front. Ready? Try that. And then we bow. And you guys did absolutely perfect. In Japan, the younger people do lower and then longer bow to the older people. But in this tea house, remember I told you it doesn't matter? I'm the host. The host bow longer. So you are allowed to go up before me. Ready? いらっしゃいませ. And here's a we call this 80手. And now I'm going to hand this to you. And then you take that from me. And then, yes, exactly. You knew it. With both hands. You know why? So accidentally you don't drop it. Yeah. It's expensive, yo. And now, so this is my cup, let's say that. And now you will put your one hand on the side of the bowl, tea bowl. Yeah. And then you will kind of look, it's about a little lower than your eyes, and then you turn the cup 1, 2, 3. And as you do it, do you know what you are doing?
Appreciating the cup.
Absolutely. So you look at every corner, every surface of the cup, because most of the cup has a different way of the color, texture, and then all. Yeah. And then that is, remember, it's a slow life, really slow. It's not like you just grab and then drink and then go. It's not like that. Did you know that? Did you know it's even Italy? They do that. Like in Italy, they don't have a to-go cup. And then they were like, why you are so in hurry to enjoy the coffee? You sit down here and then drink and then enjoy. Yeah? So it's the same thing. It's a slow, slow life, okay? And now, you will sip and you will go, you can do very different way. You can do 1, 2, 3, and then drink it up, or you can drink it up all the way at once. And at the end, or in the middle, you will go like this. You make the sound. And that is the way, the compliment to the host. It's such a upside down things compared to the American, but that's what we're gonna do, because today we're gonna really expand our imagination, right? Okay, let's try that. Go ahead. And then if you don't want to drink it up, it's okay. You can leave it. And then from here, after you finish, you liked it. You will turn the opposite side. Ready? 1, 2. And then there's a perspective or idea that when you turn towards you, coming to you, and then when you are away, that means going back to you or going back to universe. And then you place, before that, you will look at the bottom. Usually there's a signature or something by the artist. These tea balls were created by the artist, Japanese artist who now lives in New York, Hiroko Yokotagawa. Okay, and then you place here. And then of course we bow. Thank you. Now you can go back. All right, let's do, this is your turn, and we are going to do the tea for you. And the tea is right here. I was waiting for this moment. I got a different type of green tea. The tea I just created was all matcha. But in this situation, it's a mix of matcha and the green tea that comes from the Shizuoka prefecture in Japan. One of my close friends has a tea farm in Japan, so that came right there, imported. Okay, so then we're gonna just wait a minute or so. Please, okay, and now this is green tea, so that has a caffeine. And if you don't wish to have a caffeine, you don't have to drink it. And we are going to line up, and then you go back to your seat after you received. If you really love matcha, I put some matcha on this cup. So if you prefer a lot of matcha, you just pick this up. And then when you pour it, we're gonna help you to pour this, but it's only a quarter cup of it. The tea ceremony, we don't do all the way to the top. And then that is another philosophy. Can you guess what's that? What could that be, the idea behind it? Everything has an idea behind it. What do you think?
Enjoy the little things?
Yes. Enjoy the little things. It could be enough. You didn't have to have the full cup. The life could be so magical, even just less than a half. It could be magnificent. Yeah. So that makes us the detach to the, what do you call it, buying stuff too, or owning stuff. Yeah. Okay, all right, please stand up and then line up.
If you would like tea, I'll ask that you maybe line up on this side, and then we'll try to file down and back around, okay? And then you may pour the water for them?
Yeah. And then again, just a quarter of it.
Matt, you're always up. Perfect. Even when you're not.
Can we go to the like a 50, 1250, or is it?
That'd be fine. All right, that's matcha or matcha green.
Yeah. That's what I
And then I like you all to have this level. It's label. In Japan, we have some label you can sometimes hang around your neck. I just forgot to bring it. It's got the word say shomoku. Sho means holy. Moku means silence. Holy silence. And in this time, I'm really split. I like you to have a good time and have fun and talk with your friends, but let's try this. Opposite, totally opposite. You have no obligation to talk. You have no obligation to be nice to the others. You have no obligation to be beautiful and decent. You have no obligation to be you. And absolutely, you have no labels, no nothing on you. And then that happens in a holy silence. So let's try this. You will just sink yourself, transport yourself way back, and then be in a great silence. And as you do it, I am running out of time, so I'm gonna go ahead and play koto music. Koto music comes from 8th century, and then this came from China. And then this was played to cleanse your soul, because the sound is so beautiful and then kind of sinks into you, just like any other music instrument. And then music is to enjoy, but music could be to cleanse your soul. So the music is very, very slow again, and I hope you transport yourself to the holy silence. And I hope you enjoy the very, very slow going life. And if you haven't drunk yet, I will invite you to do 3 times. Or if you drunk it, that's fine. Just 3 times and then enjoy. I know this is a paper cup, but this is a biodegradable. And then we put our heart into it to find something like this. So it's nice to the nature. And can we appreciate this even simple paper cup? There's a power of appreciation in art. So that's something you can do. And after you've done, put that back to the universe by churning. And then maybe there's no artist who made this, but look at the bottom anyway. And then that is your tea time. And then when you do that, slow life again, slow breathing, slow in, and then koto music to cleanse your mind. And I'm going to do would you like to do, should I do one more song or should I do the question and answer because it's really tight?
I think we have time for songs and we can do just a couple questions.
Couple questions?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, let's do the question. Anybody have a question?
Excuse me. Yes, what's the name of that instrument, and does it take?
This is called koto. And it doesn't take too long. Unlike shakuhachi is a big bamboo flute. It takes long time to make the sound, but this one is a little bit like a piano. So if you pluck each string, it makes a sound, and then you can make a music right away. And what really takes long time is to come to the sound you really feel. Koto used to be described as the sound of the raindrops. And then the raindrops, not the raindrops we just think. It's more of a one big drops go to the surface. It's like a, and then the goes like that, right? And then that goes all big circle. That is a sound. And then that takes a long time. And then practice. And then this one is the shorter version. The regular version of koto is 6 feet long, so it's bigger, it's longer than this. And then what's the difference? This one is to transport, and then the regular one has a richer sound. But the mechanics are the same. There are 13 strings and then 13 bridges, and you can change the pitch. And you can press left side, right side. Left side, you can press, and then you can change the pitch. You can do that. And this was designed based upon a Chinese mythological creature. What could that be? Long mythological creature? Dragon. Dragon tail, dragon's head, dragon's belly, and dragon's tongue. Let the koto sing near the tongue. Next question. She was asking what school, what teacher?
What specific form of study did you study as you were being trained? Did I get the question right?
Myself?
Yes.
What did I study? I studied theater and theater arts. And then I had a second major, sociology. I like that kind of stuff.
Are you teaching here?
No, I wasn't.
You're traveling.
I'm traveling. Yeah. But I go quite a bit through state to state. Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for being here.
We have one question over here.
What performances did you learn at performance school?
What type of? The Japanese theater school, you get to choose the traditional theater or the conventional theater. And then first I learned conventional theater, and then I did the traditional theater. But when I was a kid, I did the traditional theater a little bit. And then traditional theater is very spiritual. You really have, it's very similar to this, like if you are, we had to study some music instrument, and then what is the idea behind this music, and what's behind this one sound, and then it's almost like opposite. You hear what you are not hearing. It's between the sound. Like a koto, you go. It's such a simple thing. But if you try to listen to the sound of silence between the sound, and then how it goes between the sound, the silence and the sound, and then all that is very meditative. So that's something I had to learn a little bit. It was hard because I was young. I didn't understand it. But it just kind of gradually, it came to my head. And then also the theater is similar. Like the conventional theater, you see what you see on stage, yes? And then the backstage, it doesn't matter. It could be like a word. It could be like something absolutely you don't see, right? And then like behind the mask, you can do anything. You don't, because audience is not seeing. So what audience is seeing is everything. But the traditional Japanese theater doesn't go that way. Absolutely, behind the mask, you have to beautifully decorate it, and then that is behind the mask, it's you, and then that is some kind of spiritual practice. So even it doesn't entertain you, it has to be a spiritual practice. And then backstage, the old Japanese theaters is even more beautiful than on the stage. Sometimes you see that. And then the backstage, people has such a high pride about that. I mean, it doesn't mean the back of this stage looks really nice and cool, but just the spiritual practice comes into the play in a traditional theater. Yeah.
So we are unfortunately out of time. I'm sure Kuniko would be happy to answer any questions you may have if you'd like to stay after, but I know we're getting close to 1 o'clock and some of you are students have to move on. Can you please join me in thanking Kuniko Yamamoto?
And come to my show.
This evening at 6 p.m. for Magical Mask Music Live. And if you'd like to get tickets, you can first to the box office or show up beforehand. Thank you.
So I think you're answering my question. So this is the music you're following? So in other words, it isn't just someone comes up and just makes what they feel.